Daily Wire has this report. The Department of Defense could drop nearly $270 million in taxpayer funds to further the diversity, equity, inclusion, and accessibility DEI agenda from fiscal years 2022 to 2024. The DoD has scaled up its spending on DEIA in the past. DEIA. What's the A? Oh, accessibility. So we've added an A. I didn't even know we did that. So we added, this is a big moment. We've added so with DEI, we're going to do the same thing we're doing with LGBT. So you take any of these initialisms, they just can't, the left, they can't help, but they just keep adding to them. So we've got DEI, now it's DEIA. And spending jumped from $68 million in fiscal year 2022 to $86.5 million in fiscal year 2023. Then the figure surged another $28.2 million to $114 million in the department's initial request for fiscal year 2024. The DoD's initial request for DEIA funding is included in the final legislation. The department will, if it is, rather, the department will have spent $269.2 million on diversity initiatives across fiscal years 2022, 23, and 24, which is an average of almost $90 million per year. So this is what the Pentagon's up to. This is what the Department of Defense is up to. And, it's good news as always. Even as the administration seems dead set on getting us involved in every possible foreign conflict, even as we face the possibility of World War III, even as our country is run by these globalists who want to have us traipsing all over the world and policing the entire world, we are at the same time actively weakening our military, actively making it less powerful and weaker and more feminine. And focusing on everything that we can besides making it a more effective fighting and killing force, which is what the military is supposed to be. And the people in the military, they signed up to serve their country, and instead they get DEI lectures. And what makes it, there are a lot of very obvious reasons why this is troubling to see in the military. But one of the worst things about it is that you've got, literally a captive audience. It's bad enough when you have this in the corporate world, but at least you could leave your job. It'd be difficult finding another job that doesn't have all this stuff, but you can leave your job. In the military, it's not nearly that easy. And so you are helplessly subjected to it. And the indignities don't stop there, by the way. There's a video that went viral yesterday that has nothing to do with DEI, but it does have everything to do with the way that our government treats the military and the people that signed up to serve the country. So this is a guy in the Army, it's a soldier leaving the service and revealing how when he went to turn his gear in, they charged him $4,000 that he had to pay them. He had to pay the government for gear that was lost. But it was lost, not because he lost it himself. He knows where it is. It's in Afghanistan because he was told by his superiors to leave it behind. And then they charged him for it anyway. It's just it's flat out extortion. This is the thank you that he gets for serving his country. Let's watch a little bit of that video.
I want to share something with you guys today. I want to holler, I want to scream, I want to yell, but it won't do any good. Today is gear turn-in day for me. I turn in all the gear that I've collected over the last 4 years of being active duty with the Army, with the 82nd Airborne Division. 2 years ago, my unit deployed to Afghanistan for the Afghanistan withdrawal. We spent a few weeks over there. It was hectic, it was chaotic, it was disgusting, and it made me very disappointed in our government. Today, I'm reminded of how disappointed I am in our government. Go to turn in my gear. They want to charge me $500 to $1,000 for gear that I was ordered to leave in Afghanistan 2 years ago. Because as the last two birds were sitting on the tarmac, ready to leave, there wasn't any room for extra gear or extra weight. Therefore, we were told to leave it. Some lower enlisted dudes, including myself, were like, no, this stuff is expensive. I'm not leaving this. I'm going to get charged for this when it comes time to leave. Don't worry. We're going to catch you on the back end. We'll flipple it. No. It's time to get out of the Army, and they want to charge you for that. Meanwhile,
so then the video ends with him showing his final bill. I mean, it's for those who served in the there's a lot of comments to this. People that were in the military, not at all surprised by this, and saying, "Yeah, this is what they do to you." Those of us who did not serve, it's like actually surprising. What do you mean you have to pay? They give you a bill when you leave that you have to pay? What the hell? Which should be crazy regardless. But in this case, when they tell you to leave it behind, then they charge you for leaving it behind. I mean, like I said, it's extortion. This is just extortion. And the video ends with him showing the bill that he got, and it tallied up to about $4,000. Using the internet without ExpressVPN, it's like walking your dog in public without securing them on a leash. Most of the time, you'll probably be fine, but what if one day your dog runs away or gets dog napped? It's better to be careful, especially when it's as simple as using ExpressVPN. Every time you connect to an unencrypted network in cafes, hotels, or airports, etc., your online data is not secure. Any hacker on the same network can gain access to and steal your personal data. ExpressVPN creates a secure, encrypted tunnel between your device and the internet, so they can't steal your data. ExpressVPN works on all your devices, such as your phone, laptop, tablet, and even on your smart TV. I love how easy ExpressVPN is to use. Just fire up the app and click one button to get protected. Your data is your business. Visit expressvpn.com/MattWalshShow. Use my link at expressvpn.com/MattWalshShow to get 3 extra months free. That's expressvpn.com/MattWalshShow. I have to admit this. I mean, I hate to admit it, but a few days ago, I was actually talking to my son, who's only 10, and we have a lot of conversations about what he wants to do when he grows up, and he has a lot of different ideas. As kid, that's typical of kids, of course. And his latest thing that he told me a few days ago is that he wants to be in the Army. He wants to be a soldier, and he's 10, so he'll probably change his mind in 2 seconds anyway. But I actually dissuaded him, from that. I did not say, "Oh, you should definitely do that. That's great." Now, 10 years ago, if you had told me that I would actively try to dissuade my own sons from joining the military, I would not have believed you. Or if I did believe you, I would have assumed that meant I'd gone insane and turned into some full-blown lib. But, I might be insane, but I'm not a lib. And yet I dissuaded him. Gently, of course. It's not like I said, no son of mine will do that. I didn't say that. We just kind of talked about it very briefly, and it wasn't a big deal, and I sort of redirected him. And we moved on. And, if someone had heard that conversation, it wouldn't have sounded like some sort of really serious talk we were having. But to me, it was kind of a big deal because it was sort of the final moment where I really officially realized that I don't want my own sons joining the military. I don't want them to serve their country. I don't. How could I at this point? Do I want my sons to, now if they become adults and they decide they want to do that, and that's what they do, of course I'll support them, and I'll be proud of them for pursuing that goal. But do I want my sons to sign their lives away where they'll be subjected to this like DEI woke indoctrination and be powerless against it? Do I want that for them? Would I recommend it? No. Like, do I want them to be in a position where they're gonna have this crazy left-wing indoctrination and they can't do anything about it? Do I want them to potentially be sent off to die on foreign soil in defense of some foreign nation that has nothing to do with us? A country they've never been to and don't care about? At the behest of a bunch of corrupt, soulless bureaucrats? I don't want that. I respect people who join, but I feel the same way about it as I do about the police. If any of my kids said they wanted to become police officers, I would say, again, if you're an adult, I can't stop you. But don't do that. Not because I hate the cops, but because I don't want my own kid to sign up for a situation where he will be tasked with enforcing the law, but then also told that if he tries to enforce it, he might go to prison. I would be terrified of that if my kid signed up to be a cop at this point. And that's another one that, years ago, if you had told me that as a father, I would not want my own son to be, if they told me they wanted to be in law enforcement, I would try to persuade them not to. I wouldn't have believed you if you had told me that 10 years ago. But I would know that they'd be in a situation where, if they have to enforce the law, they could go to prison for it. So it's a lose-lose situation. I don't want my kids signing up for a lose-lose situation. And the military is the same kind of thing now. A lose-lose situation in a lot of ways. It shouldn't be, but it is. And I can tell you one thing, I'm certainly not the only parent who, and I don't mean left-wing, I've talked to many conservatives who have kids who feel exactly this way about it. And that's a problem because we also need cops and we need the military. But as parents, we look at the state of these institutions, not because of the rank and file that sign up for it, but because of the people leading it. And we look at that and we say, I don't want my kid anywhere near that. Talk about a lose-lose situation. It creates a lose-lose situation for the country. And there's no happy ending to it. I don't know what to say. If you'd like to see what else I have to say, you can access my full show by going to dailywire.com or by going to the Matt Walsh Show Twitter page. Hope to see you there. Godspeed.